Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 Build a Nation story, Climbing with Cliftonville, with me, Daniel. We're back for part 40 today, and we've got ourselves in a bit of a pickle really. We're struggling with a few injuries, we're just not really clicking so much this season, and despite our Champions League successes, there are some problems in other areas. Dundalk are opponents today in, ironically, the first leg of the Champions Cup final. We've already played the second, so I'm looking forward to what will happen after this. John Sheridan's in charge, a well-known good manager and respected in the English game, and Harvey Elliott is missing out for us. Our best player on paper is not available for this one. But we'll need to have a look at the schedule to see what's been going wrong since you were last with me. We'll also look at the position ring going into the second leg of this tie, despite it saying the first. And of course, we've got to look ahead to January because there might be some changes at this club. Because we're just starting to struggle a little bit domestically. Maybe it's getting too easy, I don't know. But Larne, they're coming back up. They're starting to show the signs of a team that they've got, which is by far the second best in this division. A few others struggling, but Larne's certainly back in form. So if you're looking forward to all of that and seeing if we can nick our first trophy of the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I'm hoping we'll be able to get through this year, showing you all of the finals we potentially get to. And then after that, we'll hopefully be able to get a quick season in next year before FM21. Thank you to everyone that's checked out the live streams this week and got involved over on Discord and on Twitter with the FM21 plans. You can also see them on the community page here on YouTube as we go and have a look at our schedule to see what's been going right and wrong since the last episode, which of course ended in jubilation. We got through against Sporting, but since then we've lost 2 out of 4 games. We beat Portadown 4-2 in the league, and we were quite lucky in that one, to be honest. With 15 minutes gone, we were 2-0 down. Defensively, we've just been all at sea in the league this year. Despite having a stronger back four than last season, see, even in our backup side, it's better. I just don't know if it's a lack of experience, maybe. Is it players that aren't quite gelling together? I just don't know. Maybe it's the difference in the midfield. We know that Sammy Wilson's a drop down because he's homegrown, so maybe I will loan him to Coleraine and bring someone else in. We'll wait and see. But we did get back in the end, a 4-2 victory. Connor McLaughlin, Connor Crawford, Tom Lindley and Noah Daly with a late penalty. A 3-2 defeat at home to Dundalk. We'd planned to save our first team for this fixture, and then half of them went on international duty. So we were missing Nico Williams at right back. We were missing McDonald at centre half. We were missing Finley Robertson in central midfield. We were missing 1 or 2 backup players as well. Oh, sorry, and Bazunu, the keeper. So we were really a little bit short here. It did harm us. Hepburn, Murphy and Smith scored our goals. But we looked at Dundalk last episode. They're a good side and they beat us 3-2. So we've got a lot of work to do today. However, we did bounce back against Ballymena, a 7-0 victory in the Shield semi-final. That set up another final for us, which will be our next episode against Glentoran in January. But in the meantime, we've got work to do. We beat Ballymena 7-0, Idar's hat-trick, Robertson, Branthwaite, Connor Crawford and Noah Daly with 1 apiece. And then our reserve side lost 3-0 at Institute in the league. Ronan Doherty, who started the series here, got a brace against us. We also conceded 1 early on, and Calvin Falconer didn't even get to score. So Institute, still on paper, a good side. They've got good young players. But for some reason, it's not gelling for them this year. Glentoran are bottom of the league, and after a few poor seasons, are really flirting with relegation this year. So that's a worry for them. Ballina Millard flying in 7th. There's some really interesting outcomes here at the moment. But we've got to focus on Dundalk today. A real chance to get our first trophy of the season. But we are 3-2 down going into the away leg. And with it being listed as the first, I don't know what's going to happen. Is that Martin Atkinson from England? Why is he refereeing that? I really don't know why he's refereeing the Irish game. It's nearly 4,500 here to watch Dundalk as we've got our first 11 available with the exception of the injured Harvey Elliott. He is coming back to fitness but I can't afford to risk it. Noah Daly will start on the right, Lindley will come onto the bench. Otherwise we're first choice. I mean the other notable moments is Mark Lyons is now rated the same as Sirkin and the same for Connor Crawford with Hepburn Murphy. So potentially some of our youngsters will be creating a changing of the guard soon. And we'll wait and see how quickly that happens. But for today, we've got Gavin Bazunu in goal, tried and tested. Nico Williams and Sirkin the fullbacks. Sirkin's had a really poor year actually. Branthwaite and McDonald at centre half. We've got Finley Robertson alongside Jake Kane in midfield. Noah Daly on the right wing with Middleton on the left. And Hepburn Murphy alongside Adam Idar up front. We'll of course change Noah Daly to his preferred winger duty once we get into it. It says Branthwaite and McDonald have played fairly poorly when paired. Is that just because they've lost Champions League games heavily? We said that this would happen this season. We'd struggle with some of those relationships for the first team. But for now, I think we just have to get into it. There's been a lot of disruption early on as we rested players for the Champions League. And today we need to get back into this. We're 3-2 down after the home leg. And can we sneak it in the away one? Let's go and see if we can do that. And then we'll talk transfer window and potentially youth intake preview afterwards. It's 4-4-2 for Dundalk. They've got Duffy, they've got Riley, they've got Ray and Ford in the midfield four. They're ones that we know are good. They've got Daniel Cleary at centre-half, a solid player. Andy Boyle at centre-half's had a good season for them. They've got O'Malley in goal, and they've got good players up front. This is going to be difficult. They've basically matched us up to try and stop us, to try and thwart our threat. But we've got the lads motivated, and we've got near enough our best 11 out. So let's change Noah Daly to a winger as we get into it, and then we will see if we can get a comeback in this tie. Dundalk, far tougher opposition than St Pat's Athletic when we won this trophy last year. And it appeared so in the first leg. Despite the international duties, we were still poor, and we had 6 or 7 of the first 11 out. As Middleton picks it up on the left here, puts Adam Idar in. Oh, it's back straight away. Adam Idar's assisted by Middleton. No mistake with a finish. And it is 3-3 on aggregate, although the aggregate score hasn't changed at the top. What's going on there? It still says 3-2 on aggregate, but we've scored the goal. I don't understand. We'll wait and see what happens, because this mixed up first and second leg is causing chaos. As long as we win the trophy at the end, that's all that matters. Although Duffy nearly scores straight from the kickoff. Set up by Glenn Ray, a player I know well at Luton. And Bazunu tips it over as Duffy puts the corner in. Branthwaite clears fine as Ford. It's gone blocked well by Idar, who's doing his defensive duties as well there. I was surprised to see him back there. That's why I was mincing my words. As Lee throws down the left, it's still Dundalk on top. McKelleney's coming forward. No pressure on him. Nico Williams eventually closes. Inside to Duffy. That's a great save by Bazunu. Sirkin clears downfield. And Bazunu's coming to the rescue already as Branthwaite heads away a corner. Middleton can't get there. McKelleney wins it again. It's cleared away by Sirkin though. Good challenge from him. And Adam Idar holds up. All the way back to the keeper Bazunu. Good hold-up play and 2 Irishmen linking up there. As Bazunu chips it forward, it's a terrible one. Straight to Duffy, he's in 1-on-1. And that is in for 1-1. Bazunu has possibly cost us the tie here. Absolutely awful goalkeeping. Normally so reliable back there. And he may have cost us the tie in this one. As we've got a throw in at right back with Nico Williams. Noah Daly takes it off him and he starts to surge downfield. He's going all alone. There's no pressure on him. Noah Daly's in and he's put it wide. Sort of drifted away at the last minute. It wasn't a great effort. But Dundalk have been dominant here. And this is why I'm so surprised that we beat the likes of RB Leipzig and Sporting. Because we aren't as good as even Dundalk yet. We haven't got that quality in the side. And they're proving it here as they've scored again with Daniel Cleary. The marking's not great. The play isn't great. And we're 2-1 down on the night. I make that 5-3 on aggregate. I know it's not updated there, but let's just see what happens. Because this has been a poor display. And Dundalk deservedly ahead. And they've got another corner with Duffy. It's not all roses here as they nearly score again. The crossbar to our rescue this time. And Sirkin will clear it long downfield. Nico Williams now got a knock. Conor McLaughlin on for him. It is all going wrong so very quickly. And this year, probably the biggest difference is the sheer amount of injuries we've had. Something we've never experienced really before. And they're coming thick and fast this season. But there we go. At half-time, 2-1 on the night to Dundalk. We think 5-3 on aggregate. It was right on that side. It's just up on the top left that is not fixed. It doesn't seem great having the first leg after the second. And there seems to be a bit of a logistical glitch there. But otherwise, I mean, you've got to be fair. Dundalk deserved leaders at the moment. We can't argue it at all. We've got a throw in at left back with Sirkin though. 2 goals changes everything here. It will get us back on terms in the tie as we go long downfield towards Adam Idar, the man who started us this evening with a bit of excitement. Back to Glenn Middleton, the left winger. Cuts inside, it drops for Finley Robertson. And his shot's over the bar is comfortable in the end. And they'll be happy with a shooting from there as McLaughlin's got a throw in at right back. The substitute finds Finley Robertson. beats his man, beats the sliding challenge as well, into Adam Idar, it's blocked by the keeper, brilliant second save. The first one he made a bit of a meal of, but my word, he recovered. And it's back to Jake Kane, who finds Robertson, edge of the box, looking for that breakthrough. Back to Jake Kane, his shot's blocked and Glenray clears. Hoban finds McKelleney, he's done well on the counter today. Forward to Hoban, but Branthwaite intercepts, puts Idar in with a beautiful curling ball, and Adam Idar's hit it straight at the keeper. O'Malley saves the day. It is still 2-1, but we've had two great chances to score there, and both of them have fallen to Adam Idar, who's normally so reliable. As Duffy gets a counter on from the corner, surging down the left wing, the pressure's from Jake Kane, and Hoban eventually heads over. But we're going to have to make changes in a moment, because we are getting outplayed here. We'll watch this Dundalk throw-in as the hour mark's about to come up, and then we'll make subs. Idar gets on a hoof clearance. He's got two up with him. Hepburn Murphy's one. He holds it up for Robertson. Coming over halfway, switches to Glenn Middleton. In one-on-one, Glenn Middleton scores. It is 2-2 on the night, and we're back within one. And changes will hopefully make this an occasion to remember. We're going to go and make them now. Mark Lyons on at left back for Sirkin. We said they're almost ready to take over. The same with Hepburn Murphy for Crawford. And I'm going to bring on Lindley on the right wing. I can't. We've already made the subs. I completely forgot. In that case, we can't bring Sirkin off. It's going to have to be Crawford for Hepburn Murphy and Lindley for Noah Daly, who's struggling physically. And we'd rather go back to our preferred tactic with the inside forward. Dundalk have got a throw in though. Those two subs are made. And Gannon throws it in from the right to Ford. Plays a 1-2 with a right back. Tries to take on his man and does it well. Sirkin's running away from both of them. And a shot straight at Bazunu, who makes a right meal of it. He was brilliant until he let in that silly goal. And then after that, he has been terrible. He's really struggled. As Lindley brings it away from the corner. Long to Connor Crawford. The subs combining on the right-hand side. Crawford gets out of the challenge. That's a foul by Leahy. And we've got a chance in a really dangerous position. We're not going to see it though, so you have to assume it comes to nothing. Just 10 minutes to go, we still need one goal and there's nothing happening at the moment. With 5 left, we're going to have to go attacking. We're going to have to gamble everything. We're going to prevent the keeper distributing short. We're going to push up. We're going to get further down the field, be more expressive and just try and get a goal. We desperately need it. We're going to ask the boys to push forward. Half of them frustrated. Why? We're a goal down. Of course we're going to ask you to push forward. McKelleney finds Foley though, and it's at the other end we're worried. The ball in's cleared by McDonald. Idar holds it up. Can we get a counter on? Kane finds Middleton. He's free. He's finds Crawford. It's a poor ball. It's a poor ball through to Connor Crawford. And eventually Dundalk just clear long. McKelleney holds it up. He's cut it inside to Shields. Back to Foley. The pressure's not there though. McLaughlin heads away. Lindley flicks on straight to Giergi. And he finds Leahy who goes long down the left. Here's Duffy. Chance to cross. Branthwaite intercepts. I wonder if that Giergi is the old Norwich one that we had at Dorking. As we switch left here to Middleton. Let's come back to that as we see if we can get back on terms. He's giving it away again. Why are we so sluggish in possession this season? We've mentioned it so many times as Duffy wraps up the tie. How many times have we talked about getting caught in possession? We've still got the higher tempo. We've still got largely the same players. It is quite frustrating and we're going to lose this game. It was level on the night, but Dundalk win 3-2 in both legs, 6-4 on aggregate. And to be honest, it's still a good result for these lads because they're not expected to compete with Dundalk. They're still not as good a team. Dundalk lift the Irish Champions Cup. We lose our first final of the season. I just want to go and look at Giergi. It is him. A hero for us at Dorking Wanderers. He's 20 and just trying to make his way in this one as well. But Dundalk deserved winners. We can't argue with that. Nico Williams out for a week and a half. He will miss the next couple of games. £20,000 for losing the final. And a pretty disappointing day all around, to be honest. We've got 2 Saturday games coming up. Institute, who battered us in the league. That's in the cup quarter-final. And TNS, who are in the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup. Hopefully Nico Williams is back for that one. I think this screen is probably the best one, and it's one that we've probably not looked at in the whole of FM20. I've actually been quite lucky with injuries for the most part, but this screen is one that shows you exactly what we're contending with. If you look at this top full line here, the filled-in line along here is our injuries this season, and the dotted line along the bottom is last season. So every month bar October, we've had more injuries. So even in June pre-season, we started with 2. We got 5 in July compared to 2 the season before. 4 instead of 3 in August. 4 instead of 1 in September. Okay, we got away with it in October while people were recovering because there were less players to get injured, but now 5 again. And this is where it's becoming difficult. I know a couple of the loanees we've signed have been a bit injury prone, but if you look at these stats for this season, the number of injuries is mad. Nico Williams has had 4 weeks out, has got another injury now. Noah Daly's had 5 weeks out, someone who's barely been injured since I got here. We've also got the likes of Devlin, even as a goalkeeper, getting a knock despite not playing. Tom Lindley, Glenn Middleton, Cal Naismith, Connor Crawford, all missing a month. And the difference there is all of those are attacking wingers or strikers. So all from our front 4, Noah Daly and the other 4. That's 5 players we're missing there. We've got little silly knocks, Middleton with another one there. Stephen Thompson missed a couple of games. We didn't mention him. He's had another knockdown there. There's so many more little ones as well. Harvey Elliott's got a couple and he's struggling physically to start with. I really don't know what's caused it. We haven't changed much. Is it just going professional, having bigger training standards, trying to improve these players more quickly? Because I don't know if that's the cause. What I will do very quickly, as we've got a little bit of time, is just show you how some of these young stars are progressing, because I know that's something that's often asked about. So let's have a look at some of the homegrown ones at the club and some of the younger stars. We've got Mark Lyon at left back. He's becoming first choice soon. He's going to overtake Sirkin. He's improving really quickly. He's fairly professional. Only just turned 19 in the summer and he's played really well when he's been in the team. So I think as he's playing better than Sirkin, we probably have to bring him in soon. So maybe for December, we'll try and give him more game time than Laloney. But I feel like he's going to be a star for us. He's improving quickly, still got plenty of potential, and he suits the tactic. We're happy with him. Jake Kane is an interesting one. Not improved massively yet, but his star rating has suddenly crept up. He is becoming first choice for us. In the league, his average rating is over 8. I know in Europe he struggled a little bit more, but if you compare that with Matthew Smith, who in the league, 7.2, alright, he played well in the cup game, and in the Champions League he's done very well, Matthew Smith, particularly in those qualifiers early on. But it's quite clear to see, even looking at them, that Kane's the better player. And if one of these sides do come in for Matthew Smith and do offer us $500,000 or more, we have to take it, I think. The next one along is Sammy Wilson in central midfield. Improving a little bit, but just starting to struggle somewhat. He played well in the cup games. He's done okay in the league. He's got better as he's gone along. But he doesn't seem ready for this standard of football, so we might have to loan him out. Coleraine still wants him, and it'd still be top tier football. Tom Lindley is another one that is improving. He came in the summer, is only here because he wouldn't go back on loan to Dungannon. But we have managed to get him a little bit of game time, and when he's played, he's done well. Injuries, of course, a concern again. The fact he can't cross as a winger does worry me. But he's a good player. He's scored goals, he's got an assist, and he looks a good pro. So I'm quite happy with how he's developing. Noah Daly, the other one. Of course, he's struggled for fitness this season. His determination's going down. He's probably stopped improving now. So he's someone we might have to look at selling. At times, Larne have been interested, as well as a couple of other clubs. So he might be one of those ones to let go. Scored 20 goals in 68 league appearances, 2 of those this season. But hasn't made as much of an impact off the bench, hasn't been as crucial in Europe. The Champions League a bit too much of a step up for him. And then if we go to the 2 big ones up front, we'll start with Stephen Thompson, because he's not managed to get much game time this year. In fact, neither of them have due to injury. In the Premiership, only scored the 1 goal, couple of assists. He is still improving, and he does still have a little bit more potential. But we need him to stay fit so we can get him in the team. If he does that, I think he's got a little bit more in him. And Connor Crawford being the main one, of course. Now rated as good as Hepburn Murphy. Do we have to take that into account? He scored 9 in 7 league starts. He's still the top scorer in the division, just like last year. He's got all the David Healy attributes. He's still unambitious despite being in great mentoring groups. He's got a model citizen now in McLaughlin. But he's got brilliant attributes for a goal scorer. And in this division, he will always score goals. So I'm tempted to get him and Lyons into the first team. Let me know what you think of that. Do you think that's a good idea? I think they're the 2 moving forward. If you look at Hepburn Murphy, his goal rate is really starting to sink. Last season it crept down a bit, this season even more so. Idar's still scoring for fun and he's rated much better. So Hepburn Murphy last year got 14 in 31 in the league. Yes, he did well in Europe. Yes, he did brilliantly in the Cups. But Adam Idar, in comparison, last year scored 17 in less league games, 14 in Europe, and it was the Cups he actually disappointed in. So is it Idar's the big game player? Hepburn Murphy would play in the Cups if he's a backup player, and Connor Crawford can be the top scorer in the league. Maybe that's the way forwards. But I guess if you don't score after an hour, you're getting taken off, and Crawford is often coming on for Hepburn Murphy. So we're not giving him a fair chance most of the time. But Crawford is top scorer in the league, so I think we have to give him a chance. And he'll probably become first choice now. Harvey Elliott's doing brilliantly. We'll try and keep him. I just want to keep an eye on Jack Clark as well, the one we had last year. But he seems to be playing the odd game for Tottenham now. He's a really good player, was a superstar for us. But I don't think we're going to get him back. Should we just check Ryan Burke as well, as left back's a problem for us. At Birmingham, he's playing every game in the Championship. And he's doing well as well. That's how good he was for us. We will try and put in a cheeky bid, but I don't think it's going to happen. So a few players developing really well. It is looking good in terms of a squad. I think this is probably the point where if we were going long term, we'd try to stop relying on loanees and get some more permanents in. Because the likes of Sirkin and Hepburn Murphy and players that we've relied on are no longer better than our first choice players or no longer better than our youngsters. And that's a great position to be in. We'll have our youth intake preview for the next episode. And if we have a look, we're going to skip through loads of games now. We will be back for the Shield final in mid-January. We'll get through all of these catch-up fixtures in the league, all of the cup quarter-finals, hopefully some semis as well. And we'll be back as we try again, for the second time lucky, to win our first trophy of the season against Glentoran. Bottom of the league should be easy on paper. Never works out that way, as we saw against Ards last year. But if you did enjoy this episode, that hard-fought defeat at Dundalk, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It puts even more question on our brilliant European performances. Because against Dundalk, who aren't as good as those sides, we couldn't compete. And Dundalk are better than us on paper. We should win the league despite that heavy defeat and creeping back down slightly. The goal difference suggests we're going to win enough games heavily to get away with it. But it is a defeat, another season without going invincible. And it looks like that's not going to happen now. We've got Europa League action coming in February. We'll show plenty of that, of course. And we've got loads of cup quarter-finals before we're back for our next final in the Shield. So if you want to stay up to date with all of that and the content across the channel, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We'll have daily content from this series, weekly live streams as well, and there's announcements all over the community page, Discord and Twitter about my FM21 plans. Just a couple of weeks to go now. Finally, you can check out our Irish League guide and preview in the podcast channel in the eye above. We did a pre-season prediction show as part of that to let you know where we think everyone's going to finish. Loads of games being streamed live on the BBC this season, including a couple tonight if I've got this right. So keep your eyes peeled for them. It's a great league to watch. I love it. It's really entertaining. It's full throttle. It's direct. It's brilliant. So do go and see what the Irish League's all about, because you certainly won't regret it at the moment. But a big thanks for watching this one, your continued support with the series and the channel in general, and I hope to see you next time for another big episode, as we try for the second time to win our first trophy of the season.